in just a couple of days, 11.2.7 is coming out. 11.2.7 is going to be the last meaningful patch of The War Within. After that, we get the pre-patch of Midnight. Now, there are a few cool things coming in 11.2.7 besides what we already had in our entire video dedicated to the biggest thing, which is the housing. Let's start with a return in 11.2.7, which is the Brawlers Guild. So the Brawlers Guild is coming, not actually, it's a lie. I lied. It doesn't come in 11.2.7, it comes the reset after. So December the 9th is when the Brawlers Guild is out. So you have the Brawl Star achievement, which gives you the aforementioned title, Brawl Star. You get this by completing all of the challenge broker gambits, so all of the, I think, 8 different gambits, basically all of the different handicaps while fighting in the Brawlers Guild. So whether it is making the floor completely flippery, making the swarm into a swamp, which makes you much slower, leaving you without a weapon, but increasing your haste for melee auto attacks by 200%, all of these kind of handicaps, and if you complete them all, you get the title. Supposedly this right now seems to be very simple since it's not tied to your brawler's rank, which means you don't have to complete these titles at the highest rank and at the hardest bosses for you to complete this, so it doesn't seem that challenging. The actual rewards, besides the title, is the 2 new mounts. At in-game at least, they show Brawlers Guild rank 6 and Brawlers Guild rank 8. You get Brawling Bruno Crocodile mount at rank 6 and the Ballistic Bronco, I guess, Rocket mount at max rank at rank 8. Now, if you are a lorelet, if you know absolutely nothing about the upcoming expansion, there is a Lorewalking event added for some stories to fill you in on what's going down, or rather what has happened before this and before Midnight, specifically themed around Blood Elves, since that's where we are going. By the way, in the next expansion, we have touched on this in the previous video about the housing. You also get some decor rewards from partaking into these Lorewalking additions in 11.2.7. So maybe even just for that, you might be willing to complete the storyline coming in 11.2.7 from Lorewalker Cho. The next thing in 11.2.7 worth talking about is the Pandaren Heritage Armor. This is perhaps a bit more unique because it's a triple transmog in one. So you go to your embassy in Stormwind or in Orgrimmar, you get the invitation to the Spirit Festival, you start the quest line. It's usual heritage armor stuff, very short, it's like 30 minutes if you are role-playing and reading everything, maybe an hour, and then you complete it. The unique thing about this heritage armor is that you get the blue version, you get the red version, and you get the black version. Yes, you guessed it, because blue is Alliance, red is Horde, and black is neutral, just like Pandarens did when you level them up. So you get the triple reward on top of the festival hot air balloon toy for you to just roleplay going up into a hot air balloon. That is also what's coming in 11.2.7 as long as you have a level 50 Pandaren, regardless of the faction, of course. You just get the quest anyways, as long as it's up past level 50. Now, a bit of a question mark here when it comes to Shadowlands Time Walking paired together with the Turbulent Timeways event, mostly because Turbulent Timeways is essentially time walking on steroids, both when it comes to leveling, but this is made a bit more obsolete because you have Legion Remix going on right now, which already gives you super fast leveling, but mostly for catch-up gear. Mostly for the, okay, I haven't played these classes in like 3 years, I want to play them for Midnight, I need to level them up, gear them up before the expansion, right? That's when usually these kind of events are useful. The cool thing, supposedly, at least from the live calendar, the PTR of 11.2.7 calendar, and the beta of Midnight calendar, the Turbulent Timeways shows as releasing the release of 11.2.7, but then lasting basically 2 months. Into February, just a few weeks before the release of the expansion. So this would be something like 8 different weekly resets worth of this Turbulent Timeways event. The Turbulent Timeways event will also award you with the weekly quest, rewarding you with the heroic level cache of Nerubian treasures. So a hero track tier item every week, just because of this Turbulent Timeways event. So it's, I guess, the best next thing for you to gear up to before the pre-patch event. We haven't made a video yet, but yes, in the pre-patch event you will also get a vendor with some, obviously, the usual quests and daily quests to do in the new zone in the Twilight Islands to get a bunch of Hero Track gear. So I guess if you want to start earlier gearing up your Scuffed Alds character, you can also partake into the upcoming Turbulent Timeways and Timewalking event in 11.2.7. The last addition is of course what we spent an entire video about yesterday, which is the housing system. Now, we are going for the condensed version, we're not going to spend 20 minutes talking about it. The TLDR is, even if you don't have the pre-order of Midnight, even if you don't have access to your house, you can't decorate your house, you can't choose your neighborhood or whatever because you haven't pre-ordered Midnight, you still have access to every single tool that allows you to start collecting the decor that you can then use later on when you have Midnight to decorate your house. This means a whole bunch of different things tied to old expansions, old raids, old dungeons, but also old reputation factions to get exalted with to unlock rewards. There's also going to be some 40 plus vendors scattered throughout the different expansions that can sell you decor items, but these decor items come with the cost of Apexis crystals, the cost of Stygia, the cost of Elemental Overflow, the cost of Ancient Mana from Legion, perhaps Order resources from Warlords or maybe Garrison resources, things like Seafarer's Doubloons from Island Expeditions, maybe even PvP like Honor required to buy these items, as well as mentioned rep-gated items or perhaps quest or chain quests or meta quests gated items you can start collecting. So we have already directed you to a couple of useful add-ons you can start using to basically sort out the things you still need or the vendors you still need to visit and empty of all of the decors available from them. Decor vendor and decor achievements, which you can start using already, for example, in the beta or even in the PTR of 11.2.7 to test them out, as well as the link I will leave you down below for the WoW's decor page, which allows you to start filtering and checking out all of the different requirements for all of the different items. So if you want to start looking at, okay, which ones are going to be crafted from which professions, so you have to start learning all of the different professions of even different and past expansions depending on which ones you need or which ones you might like for your house. Maybe it's even something different, maybe it's something like drops, starting to look at which of these come from which bosses, meaning which dungeons, which raids you have to essentially farm or clear every week until these decor items drop, as well as things like rep gated things. You can start looking at, okay, I don't really have exalted with something like the Steam Weedle Cartel. Do I actually need something? These seem horrible. Maybe I don't need to exalt the Steam Weedle Cartel. Maybe the Dark Fuse Solutions. I kind of like this, you know, the Undermined Bookcase. I'm gonna need, besides the Resonance Crystal. So it is a good page to also keep track, to start keeping track of the things you want to collect in your hunt for decorating your house or your houses for your characters. And this is all that is coming in 11.2.7, starting from the immediate release of the patch, things like the Housing Early Access, the Lorewalking campaign, the Pandaren Heritage Armor, and the Winds of Mysterious Fortune plus Turbulent Timeways Timewalking combo, which will be out on release. The Brawlers Guild will be out the reset after the release of 11.2.7. So this is what we have for the last patch of the expansion, considering the pre-patch of Midnight, sort of like an in-between between Midnight and the War Within. So this is what we have for today on this Saturday, and also what we have in a few days with the release of patch 11.2.7. So for today, in the middle of this weekend, it is now time to leave each other. We're starting the goodbyes as usual by thanking everyone for having watched the video, together with, of course, everyone else who has been supporting completely for free by liking and commenting down below, as well as subscribing to the channel itself. Now, with these things out of the way, thank you guys again for watching. See you guys tomorrow, and in the meantime, yeah. It's not even that bad for being a patch while Legion Remix is going on, while the beta is also going on. It's actually decent enough content.